singers. I'm Justin Stoney, the founder of New York Vocal Coaching, welcoming you to episode 33 of NYVC Singer Studies. This show is about passionate voice teachers helping us to learn from legendary artists. Today we're looking at one of the greatest entertainers of the 20th century. His contributions were so colossal that they forever shaped the trajectory of the recording industry, live concerts, film, song interpretation, concept albums, and the very meaning of cool. It's old Blue Eyes, Frank Sinatra.
Come fly with me, let's float down to Peru. In Llama Land, there's a one-man band, and he'll toot his flute for you. Come fly with me, let's take off in the blue. Please be true.
What has he got? If not himself, then he has not to say the things he truly feels, and not the words of one who kneels. The record shows I took the blows and did it my
stuff. So let's find out what we can learn from Frank. First, Bryan Chan is here to break it down for us, the classic Sinatra belt. The classic Sinatra belt. That's right, you know what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the ending belt of his iconic tunes like My Way or New York, New York, where he wails those high notes with such richness, depth, and power. To me, the classic Sinatra belt is a genre-defining sound in not just jazz music, but all the music in the past century. And hopefully a sound that you can do after watching this clip. Now, I want to share these two clips of him demonstrating the classic Sinatra belt. I want you to listen closely and watch closely to his vowel shape and his posture.
And did it my
Catch that? The first ingredient to the classic Sinatra belt is his vowel shape. Notice that in that first clip when he sings My Way, he does not spread his vowel into ma. Instead, he opted for a more narrow and tall and round shape ma as his vowel shape. Yeah? So that there are a few advantages to this shape. It gives you a darker, deeper, richer, and more powerful tone when you belt with that vowel. Yeah? So we're gonna do this together right now. Repeat after me. You're gonna holler at your friends. Yo! Yo! And with that same vowel that you just hollered, yeah, you're gonna sing My Way. Yo, yo, my way. And that's how you find that nice round vowel shape for the Frank Sinatra belt. The second ingredient to the classic Sinatra belt is his posture and his breath support. Notice that when he belts during the two clips we just saw, Frank kept his chest and ribcage wide open, not allowing either elements to collapse as he sustained that beautiful, deep, dark, rich resonance. This posture allows for that breath support to be maintained during all the phrases, giving less strain and less constriction as he held the belt. So, to recap, with his nice round tall vowel shape and his nice open posture and breath support, Frank is able to create that classic Sinatra belt that we all know and love.
Great stuff, Bryan. And Jamie Kaufman, what about Sinatra's masterful phrasing?
Hi singers! Today I get to talk to you about one of my favorite jazz vocalists, Frank Sinatra, and one of my favorite topics to teach, phrasing. So what is phrasing? It's how a singer shapes the lyric and melody to express meaning and emotion beyond just the notes and rhythms that are on the page. Sinatra was a master at this. He could make you feel like he was speaking directly to you simply by lingering on a word or subtly delaying a line. Sinatra shaped long legato lines with a natural conversational flow thanks to his breath management and timing coordination. It's not just about what you sing, but how you sing it, where you breathe, what words you emphasize, how you stretch or shorten a phrase, and how you use dynamics to shape the emotion of the song. Let's take a listen to his phrasing in this first clip.
Fly me to the moon. Let me play up there with those stars. Let me see what life is like on Jupiter and Mars. In other words, hold my hand. In other words, darling, kiss me.
Right away, he changes the rhythm and even the lyric from play among the stars to play up there with those stars. It feels casual, like he's telling us a story. He maintains speech-like coordination and manages airflow so well that he can be rhythmically flexible without breaking the phrase or losing breath support. Now, listen to how he delays or anticipates the rhythm while still keeping the line smooth and connected.
I planned each charted course, each careful step along the highway, and more, much more than this, I did it my way.
Many jazz singers have sung these songs out of the Great American Songbook, but phrasing is what makes each performance unique. It's how we express individuality and make people feel something when we sing. One specific tool that I love teaching is back phrasing. It's when we intentionally sing the lyric after the beat. Let's hear Sinatra use back phrasing in this next clip.
You make me feel so young. You make me feel there are songs to be sung, bells to be rung, and a wonderful fling to be flung.
In the phrase, you make me feel so young, listen to how he lingers on the word feel and delays the word so. The line is usually sung, you make me feel so young, and he goes, you make me feel so young. Sinatra's phrasing shows incredible musical intuition and storytelling. By studying how he shapes each lyric with subtle dynamics, breath control, and timing, we can learn how to connect more authentically with the songs that we sing. I hope this inspires you to go explore your own phrasing. Have fun with it!
Thank you, Jamie. And Zac Bradford, can't wait to hear about this. Contemporary chiaroscuro, Sinatra's signature sound.
One of the major contributors to Frank Sinatra's iconic sound was his unmistakable tone, clear, present, and immediate, yet also dark, warm, and full-bodied. Much of that came from his expert use of resonance. Resonance is how your vocal tract shapes the sound as it travels from your vocal folds to your lips and nostrils. The articulators that shape this space include the throat, tongue, lips, jaw, velum, and the position of the larynx. Tone is also influenced by how the vocal folds compress and airflow is managed. The main drivers of Sinatra's sound were his slightly lowered larynx, his vowel shaping, and his mastery of vocal fold compression. The slightly lowered larynx creates a darker tone. His vowels, more speech-like in his mid and late career, and more rounded and lofty in his early career, shifted the balance of brightness and darkness over the years. And his approach to compression also varied, tending towards less compression in his early career and then slightly more compression in his later years. These tools gave Sinatra a tone that was both vibrant and warm, what singers call the chiaroscuro, the balance of the light and the dark. He adjusted them masterfully to suit each note, phrase, and song, whether swinging or in a soft ballad, while maintaining both ease and emotional depth. Check out these examples.
Must you dance every dance with the same fortunate man? You have danced with him since the music began. Won't you change partners and dance with me?
Night and day under the height of me, there's an old such a hungry yearning burning inside of me, and its torment won't be through till you let me spend my life making love to you day and night. Night and day. She gets far too hungry to wait for dinner at 8. She adores the theater and she doesn't arrive late. She'd never bother with people she'd hate. That is why the lady is a tramp. You and time after time, you'll hear me say that I'm so lucky to be loving you.
Well, that's all from me today, singers. I look forward to seeing you again next time.
That's awesome, Zac. And Arbender Robinson, tell us more about Frank's ability to play with the melody and to improvise.
Hey friends, so Frank Sinatra, legend, iconic sound. You can recognize his sound right away, yeah? But have you ever paused for a second to say, let's listen to Frank early in his career and compare it to Frank later in his career, or sometimes even just finding the same song and listening to them back to back, and that's what we're going to do today. Let's take a listen to this song early in Frank's career to listen to what that iconic sound was. Take a listen.
I got a song that I sing, I can make the rain go anytime I move my finger. Lucky me, can't you see I'm in love? Life's a wonderful thing. As long as I hold the string, I'd be a silly so-and-so if I should ever let it go.
Oh, magical. Aggressive, right in the tempo, full of energy and life, that wonderful phrasing, closing to certain consonants at the end of phrases, that iconic Frank Sinatra sound. But let's take a listen to the same song later in his career. Take a listen here.
I'm in love. Got a song I sing, I can make that rain go anytime I move my finger. Lucky me, can't you see I'm in love? Life's a wonderful thing, long as I hold that string. Be a silly so-and-so if I should ever let it go.
Do you hear the difference? You hear how he chose to change the tempo. You hear how he chose to swing it a little bit and sit back on the rhythm, and it made it a completely different song, yet still iconic in the way that he delivered it, still iconic in the vocal stylings that he's able to do. So if you get a chance, do what I do. Find 5, 6 of your favorite Frank Sinatra songs and then listen to them at different points of his career. You'll start to hear all of these iconic things that he does in his vocal styling that you can layer into your own work. Frank Sinatra is the master of this, and hopefully you become the master too. All right, thanks. Bye.
Thanks, Arbender, and thanks to all. I'll give you my analysis of Frank in a moment, but first, here are some resources to get a kick out of your vocal journey.
To get to know the Voice Lessons online team or schedule a lesson, visit voicelessonsonline.com. To get your copy of Justin Stoney's book, Sing Like Never Before, visit singlikeneverbefore.com. If you'd like a vocal course that you can do from home, check out the Voice Lessons to the World vocal course. Our 12-part program takes you on a journey from beginner to master level vocal exercises. Find it at voicelessonstotheworld.com. If you're a voice teacher looking to master your craft, join our worldwide community at voiceteachertraining.com. Finally, if you'd like free vocal tips sent to you each day, sign up at dailyvocaltips.com.
In high school, I was a real troublemaker, don't you know? I remember driving around town in my parents' green Saturn with my binder of Frank Sinatra CDs, crooning along to Frank until my mid-Michigan curfew. What can I say? I like to live dangerously.
There goes the neighborhood.
So me and Frank go way back, but whether you're new to Frank or a longtime fan, there's no denying it. Sinatra is one of the all-time great interpreters of song. So much so that many songs that we know and love aren't actually the original. They're Frank's version. Maybe the most iconic example of what I'm talking about is I Will Always Love You by Dolly Parton. Do we think of Dolly when we imagine that song? Beautiful, of course, yet our minds naturally gravitate to Whitney. Same thing with Frank, but with dozens and dozens of songs. Fly Me to the Moon, My Way, That's Life, The Way You Look Tonight, I've Got You Under My Skin. I could go on and on and on. Today, let's just look at one example, New York, New York. When we think of that song, we naturally think, start spreading the news, I'm leaving today. But is that how the song really goes? Here's the original.
Start spreading the news, I'm leaving today. I wanna be a part of it, New York, New York.
But of course, we remember the song more like this.
Start spreading the news, I'm leaving today. I want to be a part of it, New York, New York.
So why should we care? Why does that help us? Well, it shows us that there are two and only two ways to perform a song: imitative and original. Frank sang almost exclusively original renditions of his songs, but what about us? Do we always have to put our own spin on things? Absolutely not. In fact, most of the time, we sing in an imitative way, singing a song just the way Frank sang it or just the way Whitney sang it. And that's not a bad thing. It's a vital thing. And I hope to prove it to you with Stoney's Sinatra Challenge. First step, choose any Sinatra song, one of your favorites. Then sing it in an original way. Try not to use any of Frank's choices, but try to do as much as you can in a totally new way. Note, this might be very difficult. Next, find 5 or more renditions of the same song by other artists. Then sing those renditions imitatively. In other words, make the same choices that those artists made. And after you've done all that, go back to trying your own original way. I think you're going to notice a huge difference. You'll suddenly feel liberated in your ability to make choices, and that's the point. Imitative singing is the gateway, the vehicle to original singing. Frank Sinatra was the best at doing things his way, and I hope that he can inspire you to do things your way. We'll see you next time for more Singer Studies.